Hey guys, it's Ifter, and I'm back with Agony. And this time, before we jump right into what we were going to do before and check out this room, I have to point something out. And it's quite a big thing to point out. Since I've uploaded these, it's been a long time past, but with this video about maybe a week ago, this is for me present time, because I record a lot of these videos in advance to have quite a bit of a backlog. Before this video was recorded, like about by a week I said, they have released the uncensored version of Agony. How they managed to finagle that, I don't know. But they did. And to be fair, I'm currently still playing. This video is being recorded in the censored version of the game. And to be fair, I went and played the uncensored version because they gave it to everybody who had the censored version of the game for free. If you had the censored version, you got the uncensored version. And forgive me, the beginning of this video is going to be a little bit of an info dump, kind of. But like I said, to be fair, I played the uncensored version to make sure, I wasn't mischaracterizing this. Let me read this note. Frozen and hungry, I slipped in and out of consciousness, yet I continued my journey, trying to light up the ice covering the heart of Inanna with my faith. At that moment, a huge temple carved out of the ice appeared before my eyes. I used fat to light abandoned fireplaces. When the fire cast its light on the inside of the chamber, I saw the statue of a huge goddess that was once worshipped here. In her hands, she wielded a sword made of the bones of those who did not bow before her. Her body was covered with trophies of fools who did not kneel before her. Looking at her aggressive face, I understood that the goddess's glory goes far beyond the simple image of Inanna, to which we raise our hands asking for grace. The goddess takes many forms, both as a whore and an invincible warrior, an innocent, naive girl, and a mature and cunning bitch. I think I read this before. Ignited by new faith, I honored her by spilling my own blood. The empty frame of a destroyed painting served as a passage. Another image of my journey. A gate separating me from my meeting with the great painter. To open these doors, I found another pattern in the depths of my subconscious. I felt the goddess lead my hand to finish the sigil. The open circle was filled with two short vertical lines. And next to them we drew two more longer ones. Under my closed eyelids I saw a circle of blood floating around me. The exit was fenced off by 4 bars, behind which I heard the goddess' voice calling me. Gently I put my fingers in between the bars and parted them, taking care not to disturb the hanging blood. The goddess lured me onwards with a brilliant light that came from the other side of the bars. KN. Okay. So back to what I was saying previously. I tried the uncensored version, and there are a lot of changes between the two games. That is an understatement if I have ever spoken one in my life. There's so many changes I had to make notes, which I am going to refer to. One of the major things I noticed is that all of the menus have been improved. It does not seem like those changes carried over to the censored version. It doesn't look so clean. It doesn't look so good. They added a map, which, is not something they've added to this game. There's a mini-map in the uncensored version, so, that's a really nice feature. It marks items and lets you know where the heck you're going, which is really cool. It looks a lot cleaner. I will say a lot of things look cleaner and cleaned up. They supposedly changed some models, but as far as I could tell, changing models meant there's a completely different model for all female prisoners of hell. Ooh, you have wings? That was weird.
I'm gone. Whatever you see.
Yeah, all females had a different model, but it was all it wasn't the same model. But they're mostly the ones that received improvements. Enemies looked very similar, other than being more jiggly in places. And yeah, can I just walk through? Okay, no, you're not gonna. I think I have to light that on fire, so let's go get a torch as I continue my nonsense. The gameplay for it was also very different. I actually started over from the beginning in the not the demo. In the uncensored version, I started all over. It seemed a little more focused. It seemed a little more clear where you're supposed to go. The game, I'll get to the negatives later. I'll start with the positives. It's always a good place to start. It was a little clearer where to go. Again, the minimap helps immensely in that. Wow, even the buttons are different. Because, yeah, it was a little easier. Okay, now actually I'm a little unclear. Let's focus on solving this problem before I continue my explanation of the changes. Do I need to break this? Answers that question. Answer that question immediately. Okay. Oh, now it's just gonna... I mean, obviously it's the red ones. That's kind of a no-brainer. That makes it easy. I can get back to explaining things. They completely changed the skill menu. Does not look like this, and it makes a lot more sense, and actually gives you a purpose in upgrading yourself. I'll give him props on that one. Yeah, I think I'll move on from the good things to some of the middling things, which could be taken as good or bad depending on who you are. The voice acting is the same. So if you find any of the voice acting in this weird, it's weird there. Ooh, Path of the Fallen. Oh boy. Alright. Alright. Yeah, voice acting's the same. The gameplay's still the same, which is, for me, not a compliment. That's more of an insult. But areas are a little more focused, I guess. They seem less confusing. So there's that. They added traps to the game. There are pit traps. There are spike traps. There are traps everywhere. Which does make areas seem a little more intimidating considering you're in hell. It also adds one of the more annoying aspects to the game. They also completely changed a lot of areas, which is more on the good side, I suppose. They added more babies to the game, which I would say is a bad thing. And I'll get to that in a minute. In fact, actually, I think that's all I have left to explain. I already mentioned the gameplay is still kind of the same, which isn't really a plus. But I didn't really expect that to change with an uncensored patch, put it that way. So, let's get to the point of it. It's uncensored, which means everything you think it means. The uncensored version is a lot filthier. There's a lot more gore. A lot of mechanics are replaced to be gross things for the sake of being gross. Which, I'll admit it's what the people who kickstarted it wanted, so I can understand that. To me, a lot of it just felt like it was supposed to have an impact, but had zero impact. It's kind of like if your friend bought you a ticket to a show, and he's like, yo, at this show, the show's about, like, murdering 10 people on stage, bro. They're gonna murder 10 people on stage. And then you're like, okay, I'll go. And you get to the show, and then they murder 10 people on stage, and they go, wasn't that surprising? And you kind of just sit there and go, well, I mean, no, because it's kind of what I expected. Anyway, let's see what this guy's up to for a moment while I stop rambling about nonsense. Hey, bro. What up? You okay? You have a fetus on your head? You do. Okay.
One more. A hiding place. Need to find another hiding place. Hide yourself. Don't go that way. If I were you, I wouldn't go that way. Don't
Okay.
go down that road. You'll disappear.
But I want to.
You'll disappear in the fire, frozen to death.
Can I have your fetus hat?
Only an echo will remain.
Or your baby hat?
Go if you want.
Actually, never mind, I don't want it.
Manage it. And if not, only an echo will remain.
Okay. Oh, do you recognize me?
Of course I know you. But you don't remember anything. Be glad. It was you who started this madness.
Oh, that's good.
It's a good thing you did. No, I won't say anything more. I won't do it to you.
Do you know anything about succubi?
In the purest form. You won't be able to resist them. It was she who taught them everything. Being with a succube, you may notice goddess taste. That's what they say. You can't resist them. Close your eyes, go to sleep. They drive your soul further away from God. Leave them alone. Go now. You know the way.
Right. I'll leave you to your weird painting. But yeah, the game, with my terrible, terrible anecdotes, whatever my story aside, hey bud? Okay. Never mind, I thought that was a thing. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear! Go! Go, you fool! But yeah, my terrible, stupid story aside, it just feels like it's stuff that feels like it should be having an effect. It just kind of doesn't. It just kind of makes you go, yeah, your goal was to shock me. You tried. It just didn't work. The babies are a big factor of that. You do a lot of things with babies that you shouldn't be doing. In terms of death. I'm gonna fall again. I didn't. Oh god, thank god. Okay, that was annoying. Areas are a lot raunchier. Things that I definitely can't.
Do you still remember how your forgotten empire looks like?
Whoa.
I have shown you a vision once. We decorated it with a frame.
I can.
You have to find it. It will be so touching for both of us.
Okay. Yeah, areas are dirtier. There's a lot more things that I definitely can't. You think like this one's bad, and it's not comparatively. Like, I don't know. It's very different. When I opened my eyes, I realized it was on the surface. The snowstorms and frosts had killed most of my subjects. Now seemed to have no effect on my body. Cloaked by the goddess's glory, I walked across an icy bridge straight into a cave. I found the great painter from my vision. Inside, there were many bent frames and cracked bones. Huge cauldrons filled with the remains of newborns that had served as sacrifices. When I looked at the empty canvas, I realized that the painter I was looking for was inside me. It is I who must become the artist who will paint the great work with the blood of sinners. With euphoria, I started to work, creating more images of the goddess. She comes in many forms, a perfect being for all of us, regardless of the time and place in which she is worshipped. I feel I've become more powerful than I was before. In a dream, I saw myself as a mighty beast on which the goddess sat. Together with her, I will return to my city, and on my wings I will lift her to the heavens, which will flow with the blood of God himself. KN. Now, I will say the game is a lot more focused, like I said. A lot more attention to detail was put into the UI. So on that front, they did a much better job in the uncensored version. I feel the game itself doesn't change much, which is part of the problem with this game, is the game itself is not very fun to play. And I'm sure someone out there's gonna be like, but come on, it's hell. Hell shouldn't be fun. It's a video game. It's a video game that I play for some form of enjoyment. Hey, bud. That was an animation if I've ever seen one. Hi. No. Oh, looks like it's runtime. Enough of my ranting. If there's any other questions you guys had in the differences, I could try and explain them as best I can. But I feel like for now, my ranting is, it's fine. I played through the entire first chapter, which is actually a very long chapter. Also, turns out that first boss fight, still completely avoidable. Still completely avoidable. So, yeah, that's fun. Oh. Okay. Can't believe I spent almost 15... Well, there's been some interruptions, I guess. Can't believe it took me that long to talk about the game. But there were a lot of changes, so I guess it is a lot to talk about, to be fair. What am I leaving my body for? No, go back in. What? I guess I'm taking him over. There's always something bigger. Well, you're not wrong. I'm also unfortunately out of time. So next time there won't be so much time dedicated to, well, talking about the differences between versions. So I think I'm good on that. But yeah, if you like this video, which I cannot see anyone liking this video in particular, but you never know, leave a like down below. For some reason, watching this terrible info dump video made you want to subscribe. Click that little subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Maybe don't share this video with friends. This particular one. Don't share this one. If you want to share some other ones, sounds good. And next time, I promise we'll just get to playing again with this nightmare. But until then, everybody, take care.